everybody, this is Emily Duplessis with Rental Rookie, and on today's video we are going to be focusing on an aspect of financing. Now, if you're going to be purchasing a investment property, or actually this applies to anybody who's purchasing a property that they're going to live in, today's video is going to focus on calculating debt to income ratios and how important this ratio or this number is when it comes to qualifying for financing from a bank. Now, let's talk quickly about what is the debt to income ratio, or it's commonly referred to as the DTI. The DTI is a percentage that banks use to determine how much of your gross monthly income is used toward your debt. So they want to take a look at, all right, let's make sure we have an open picture of what somebody's financial portfolio looks like, right? So they'll say, all right, this is what you make gross from your single job, multiple jobs, whatever it is. However, you may have a full-time, part-time job, whatever it is. What is your total gross monthly income? And how much debt do you have? And they want to take a look at those two numbers and essentially compare them to make sure that you're not spending an abundance of your gross monthly income on your debt. And if you are, they're not going to let you qualify for buying a property, or at least qualify through, using financing. You might be able to get private money or a hard money loan or friends and family and things like that. But the banks are kind of stringent when it comes to looking at your DTI ratio. So why are banks doing this? Why is this important? Banks want to make sure that there's a balance between what you're earning gross each month and what you're paying in debt each month, which I just kind of explained on the last slide. And they want to make sure that there's a balance there. And when they're doing that, when they're doing the calculations, and I'm going to run you through quickly how to calculate your DTI, the golden number that they're looking for is 45. So they want to make sure that your monthly debt is no more than 45% of your gross monthly income. So 45% is that golden number when it comes to figuring out the DTI ratio. How do you calculate your DTI? So this little video is really a quick how-to for you, so that you don't even necessarily need to go see a mortgage lender to do this. You can kind of get an idea on your own of what your DTI ratio is, and what you potentially could be able to qualify for. So how they calculate the DTI, they're going to take your total monthly debt. Now that's everything. If you live in a house that you own now, that's going to be your house payment now, plus the house payment for the property that you're looking to buy. If you don't own a home right now, then they're going to take into consideration, the house that you're trying to buy, the taxes, the insurance, all of that's going to be played into this ratio. Student loans, car payments, credit card debt, if you've taken out a home equity line of credit, if you pay child support or alimony, if you have a furniture loan, if you have personal loans, all of any kind of debt that you have to pay out each month is going to be assumed in this total. They take that and they divide it by your gross monthly income. And what they're looking for is a number that's 45% or less. Okay, if you get that, then you're probably going to be able to go on to the next step of obtaining financing through a bank. Now, let's break this down, because I know sometimes it's much easier, especially if you're a visual learner, it's much easier to see this. So if we look here, let's say that you have $2,500 in our first example of total monthly debt. You divide that by, let's say you make a gross monthly income of $4,500 a month. You're looking at a DTI ratio of 55.5%, which automatically, when we see that, it's over 45%. You're not going to be able to obtain financing, but your lender, your mortgage planner, whoever you're working with, may be able to talk to you and give you some ideas of how maybe you can get that monthly debt down, right? Maybe you've got a lump sum of cash in the bank and savings. They might say, well, why don't you go pay off that credit card? Why don't you go pay down some of that loan? Why don't you, pay off your home equity line of credit with some of that cash? And then you actually might be able to get your debts down, so that you'd be under that 45% threshold, and you might actually be able to, obtain financing. Don't think, that, 55.5% or 60% or 50% or 47%, I'm done. I'm going to have to wait another year or two. If you're working with a mortgage planner, they should be able to kind of come up with some tips on how you might be able to get under that threshold. I know, my husband, Kirk, is a mortgage planner, and so he will be the first one to tell you that he's worked with a lot of people and tried to come up with ways that they might be able to get that that ratio down so that they could be able to obtain financing. Let's take a look at another example where it actually works, right? Second example, you can see the big circle around it. We've got $1,700 in monthly debt. That same $4,500 gross monthly income, that gets us to a DTI ratio of 37.7%. All right. And so obviously that's under that threshold, and they would probably be able to go on to that next step of obtaining financing, whatever that next step will be for this individual person in their situation. So I thought I'd throw down at the bottom sample debts. $1,700 might seem like a lot of debt each month, but it really can add up quickly. If you look at the bottom in the sample debts that I put, that would be just having, maybe $240 in credit card debt. You may have one credit card, you may have multiple credit cards, and even if you have multiple credit cards and just pay the minimum balance, it could quickly add up to $240. If you have a car, I know a lot of people have maybe a single car or two car payments in a household. I put $450 there. That could be one really nice car. That could be two cars in your household, whatever that is. If you have a house payment, right, a current house payment, or you're going to have a house payment, and I put on there the PITI, so that's going to include the property and the insurance and the taxes, all of that. $950. And then if you have student loans, I just put down $60. So the debts that I put here, I kind of felt were maybe somewhat average, not necessarily super exorbitant for people who maybe spend a lot of money, but debt can add up quickly. And so I wanted you to see, a breakdown of how this DTI ratio works, how you can calculate it. You can take this, you could take and, take a look at your bank statements and all of your different accounts and credit cards, and you could be able to figure this out right now for you, so you have an idea of where you stand. So if you're tuning into this video and you haven't been over to the rentalrookie.com website, please go ahead and head on over there. We've just redesigned and redone our entire website and switched over to a membership-based platform where you can go on, create your own account, and access this video along with tons of other videos, tutorials on financing, on finding properties, on analyzing properties, on how to self-manage properties. There's loads of great free PDF downloads for you to use in your own investing journey, along with spec sheets on our entire rental portfolio. And we also included a video tutorial on one of our recent rehabs that we've done, where you can see the breakdown of our costs, and a video that kind of walks you through step-by-step our rehab that we did on one of our properties. All of that stuff is for free. If you head on over to rentalrookie.com/sign up, you can create your free account and join in the Rental Rookie community, so you can learn how to take control of your financial future with investing in rental property.